Hi ladies, welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk about protecting your image. Now, I just did a video about Lizzo, and if you want to hear my thoughts about her shenanigans, go ahead and click this link. I'll leave a card somewhere and you can go watch that video. But in light of a lot of the interesting things that celebrities do, and knowing how I was so influenced by celebrities, even in my 20s, in my early 20s, I think that it's important to talk about how to protect your image while you are young and while you're able to control certain things about your reputation. I want to tell you that reputation is so important. And once you ruin your reputation, it is very, very hard to get it back. So I'm going to give you some tips. Some things I learned the hard way. Other things I learned from watching other people go through similar situations. And I'm just going to share these tips with you, and hopefully you will find them helpful. All right, so tip number one is to protect your digital footprint. Your digital footprint is your Facebook page, your Twitter, your Instagram, any place where you post online, a blog, YouTube, any place where you post online. You always want to be very mindful about what you are posting online and protecting your digital footprint. So I know some of you will not have this problem because you're not on the internet like that. You may just watch and you're a lurker and you don't really participate. So you don't have to worry about people finding different things on the internet about you. And some of us are self-employed, so we navigate how we want to, and everything we do is pretty much for a purpose. As a content creator, we're very strategic about how we move on the internet. But for women who are in the workplace, you have a professional job, and you may be a creative as well, but you may work in a more structured environment, and you may have a very good job that pays well. I want to encourage you to not destroy your digital footprint. So what do I mean by that? If you are drinking and you just so happen to drink too much one evening, that's not something you want to post online. If you are with your best girlfriends at a party or at some private event and you guys are letting loose and getting wild, and maybe there's some twerking that takes place or something, that's something you don't want to post online. If you are upset one day at your boyfriend or your husband and you want to go on Instagram and rant, that can destroy your digital footprint. If you have a very foul mouth and everything you say is a curse word or you're cursing people out, that can destroy your digital footprint. Now, people who have just jobs don't understand this because, the lower your job is, the less you have to risk. This is really important if you have a more high-powered job, if you have went to school for many years to get your bachelor's degree, your master's degree, and you have worked really hard to get the position that you have, or if you are just an intern or a newbie and you're trying to network and build relationships. You have to understand what can hurt you in the industry that you are a part of. We all have different jobs or careers, and we all do different work. For you can be a little more liberal online, but for some, sharing your ideas about politics, religion, or personal views that some may find offensive, especially in the very liberal society that we live in today, could possibly hurt you. So be very careful about the things that you share online because they could destroy your chances of progressing or getting that job promotion or networking with a certain group or getting that reference letter. The second thing I want to talk about with your image is to be careful what you reveal to other people, even your friends. You want to be careful about revealing dark things about yourself, maybe run-ins that you've had with the law, or a secret that could possibly hurt you in some way. People talk too much. They really just talk too much. The more you tell people, the more you run your mouth off, the more information people will gain to use against you. When I was pledging Delta, I remember stories going around about certain girls that they were not going to accept for certain reasons. Now, there is a protocol of how sorority members are accepted into organizations, and that's for everything. That's for fraternities, and that's for sororities and exclusive clubs that are not just open to anybody. Your reputation will precede you. And so I'm going to talk about that next. That really relates to my next point even more. But if you don't protect your image, if you tell everything, show everything, people can take that information that you really trusted someone with and use it against you. So be careful. The last thing I'm going to say about protecting your image is some of you are quite promiscuous. You're quite promiscuous. You really don't guard, your personal space. You might be a party girl. You dress very, very, very provocatively. Your image, your reputation kind of precedes even who you are as a person. And this is one reason why I stray away from dressing too provocatively. And it's mixed up in my morals and my values too, in my personal relationship that I have with God. But other than that, I love to look good, and I love clothing, and I love fashion. But I'm always really mindful about how I look and what message it's sending to people. And what a lot of people don't realize is how you present yourself can cut you off from certain circles. And it could cut you off from gaining access to certain people who may be a little more conservative, or who may not like the way you present yourself. Your image shouldn't hurt you in life, especially when it comes to your career and dating. It shouldn't hurt you. It should help you. So I encourage you to figure out what you want in your life. Figure out what type of man you want to marry. When I met my husband, I knew I wanted to marry him. And the more I got to know him and figured out what his major was and met his family and learned about his background, I was like, yes, I chose the right person. I picked who I wanted to marry. And I think that it's important for women to have an idea or an image in your head that's realistic of who you want to marry, what kind of lifestyle you want to have, how much money you want to make, what kind of job you foresee yourself having, what hobbies you want to have. I love traveling the world. I always wanted to travel the world. I didn't know how I was going to make that happen at 21 when I just graduated with a bunch of debt and trying to figure out how am I going to make this happen. This is before entrepreneurship and everything. And we don't always have all the answers. But one thing I did is keep my nose clean, okay? And keep your nose clean basically means not to let your reputation precede you. So you do want to protect your reputation, whether it be from the label that you're promiscuous, or whether it be from the label that you don't know how to dress appropriately for different environments, or you don't know how to dress for the workplace, or you don't know how to speak well, or you don't know how to carry yourself. These are things that can really hurt your reputation, which affects your image and being able, like I said, to build relationships, because life is all about being able to build relationships to get to where you want. All right, ladies, so that's all I have to say. Let me know your thoughts about protecting your image. What is the best advice that you have ever received about protecting your image and your reputation? And make sure that you have joined us for the Find Your Style Challenge. I have one more video coming up. You can purchase the workbook in the description box below. If you're ready to level up for 2020, revamping your wardrobe is the first way to get started. So I will leave a playlist to all of those videos in the description box below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.